Good morning, welcome back to another Cold Waters video. I'm Captain Numpty and here's me boat. Yes, if you recognise your cold water submarines, this is the Narwhal. And today's mission is another one of these, oh look out, we've managed to run into 15 submarines kind of missions.
Helm aye.
There are 15 submarines out there. Now we should detect all of them eventually. What's the highest number? It's an 11 there. 8, 10, okay, cool, 9, 12. There are still 3 out there. The boats we're facing are a mix of nuclear attack and nuclear cruise missile carriers. Now if I go back to my boat here, and let's go up. Yeah, we're not under the ice right now, but a good chunk of this battle is going to be under the ice, so I didn't go with diesel electrics for that reason. And I could have done, but we don't want those crews to suffocate. We want to destroy them with Mark 48s. Now in the real world, this game follows a small number of available hours after a Royal Navy mission where I was using a combination of tigerfish and spearfish. One of the things that I've since come to realize, because I'm a numpty and don't read the instructions, spearfish has got a pretty short range. Payback for being able to do 80 knots is it gets a couple of minutes of attack mode. So it's not the all-conquering weapon that you might think, because you've got to get it in position first. It doesn't move very quickly. I suspect that Mark 48 is a more balanced weapon, and we're going to find out. So I would suggest you grab a snack, grab a drink, and settle back. I'm going to be skipping around this video a little bit, and by skipping around what I mean is I'm going to be pausing the recording, repositioning the boat until at least the action starts. So right now there's not that much to kind of see. The Narwhal is, in the game at least, a very quiet boat. I just trod on something crunchy. It's a quiet boat, so I've got a reasonable chance of not being detected for at least a period of time, but it may not last. Now I've told the enemy to cruise at 5 knots, so that's what they're doing, and yeah, there's still the 3 out there.
Steady course.
I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. I'm going to play out this a little bit, and I'll be back when something more interesting has perhaps, well, that's not entirely true. I'll be back when there's some other news, so back in a jiffy. And welcome back. What to make of this? Turns out I may have enabled the Kilo class diesel electric, and that's bad news because those are very quiet. It looks like I've detected a Kilo Sierra 13 back here. I don't have a particularly good acoustic read on it, but let's take a look. If this is a Kilo, 108 decibel is quieter than me. I think I'm 110, or am I 105? I'm 110, so that is quieter than I am. Everything else is noisy, or noisier. This Sierra 3 looked to be getting pretty close. Some of the modern boats are kind of very quiet. Yeah, what have we got a good? Is that the Oscar? Yeah, it's an Oscar. Okay, so there's enough out there that's going to cause me a bit of a headache. I've just detected a mine class with its nearly 4,000 foot diving detail. Doesn't have that big an advantage here because the depth right now is 954 feet. That's interesting, a lot of these boats are above the layer. Not all of them, I'll say a lot of them. Some of them are. Some of them have dived. There's 2 I think I saw so far. So Sierra 7. Sierra 14, the mic's not very deep right now. Okay. Yeah, that's just a couple. We're getting better acoustics on most of these boats, so I can hear the tension in my voice, and it doesn't matter what course I take. We are
Come
kind
left
of
to 144. Helm I.
we're on a bit of a collision course, and I don't really want to get that close. I also don't particularly want to fire. 5,000 yards from this Oscar. That's kind of not good news. But this Charlie 1, Sierra 3, it's thinking we're 4,000 yards, but we don't have a particularly good detection on there, so we're kind of close. I think what I want to do is I've got to head and turn away. I'm going to run southeast. Let's accelerate time. I'd like to get out the way if I can. Now this might make me a little bit more obvious. Yeah, I'm perilously close to being detected by some of these boats.
Con, helm, steady course.
The Oscar's got about the best detection. The Charlie, not bad. Charlie 1 there. Oh, okay. So something's just pinged me right. I'm
Con
gonna.
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 2.
There we go.
Shoot. Con sonar, launch transient from
Well,
Sierra 1.
there's my
3.
surprise face.
Con sonar, launch transient
Ooh,
from
ho, ho.
Sierra 2.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Okay.
Con fire control.
Now
We've
I'm
lost
gonna
the
get
wire.
these last two torpedoes. They don't have a
Con
wire.
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 3.
I'm gonna get these out to some distance away. I'm gonna retract my towed arrow. We're gonna run to. I would like.
Con sonar, come left to 1. Make turns for 2-5 knots.
We're probably
Maneuvering
gonna
eye.
lose the wire on these, and that's a shame. I was hoping that we wouldn't, but.
Con fire control. We've
yeah.
lost the wire.
There we go. Okay.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 4. Con sonar, Sierra 4 is cavitating.
That's a lot of torpedoes heading my way. So I firewalled my throttle. Let's see. Let's get my depth down to.
Con sonar, Sierra 4 is cavitating.
For what it's
Con
worth.
Make depth 800 feet. Dive high.
800 feet. It's going to be a lot of noise. They're going to make a lot of sinky submarine type noises. I'm actually going to go ahead and crank it round and go opposite direction because
Come left to 311. Helm I.
I have a chance
Con
to
less than 50 feet below the keel.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2. Last bearing 236. Contact is in the baffles.
yeah, I have a chance to avoid some of
Con
those.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 4. Last bearing 219. Contact is in the baffles. Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Very limited chance of. Oh, good grief! These things are
Con
very.
sonar
Passing 800 feet. Con fire control. Weapon
oh.
countermeasure homing.
Oh, it's coming out.
Con sonar regained
Yeah,
contact.
it's-
Con sonar torpedo in the water.
It's
Torpedo
detected,
in the water.
mate.
Bearing 2.
Bad news.
9. Con sonar torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 228.
Passing 500 feet.
Okay, let's watch myself
Con
now.
sonar torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 215.
Yep, we figured.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 229. Con sonar regain. Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 7.
Okay,
Passing
time for a
sonar,
noise
no longer
maker.
cavitating.
Dang it.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra. Con sonar torpedo in the water.
That is a
torpedo
lot
in the
of
water.
torpedoes.
Bearing 195.
Passing 600 feet. Con knuckle formed.
This is
Passing 700
not
feet.
very good.
Con knuckle formed.
Con sonar torpedo in the water. Torpedo
Come
in
on,
the water.
come on.
Bearing 188. Con sonar regained contact on.
Con knuckle formed. Con less than 50 feet below the keel.
Yeah, that's great.
Passing 800 feet.
Oh, no, no. Ah,
Flooding in the engine room.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water.
Yes,
Bearing
well, I'm a little
1,
busy
6,
right now. I
2.
got another torpedo heading at me, so go away.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water. Bearing 190.
Good grief.
Come right
There are
to
how many torpedoes
291.
following me?
Helm aye. Con, sonar, launch transient from Sierra
I'm done
8.
for. There's no way I can avoid all these torpedoes.
700 feet.
Yep.
Damage control parties, lay to the engine room.
Con, sonar.
Indeed.
600 feet.
Okay, well that was a short and sweet mission. Except it wasn't very sweet. And that's how you don't engage 15 submarines in a Narwhal. Maybe you got something from this. I got a few things from this. Roughly a dozen Russian torpedoes. I'll be back. Don't you know? Take care, everyone. Goodbye. Oh, I got one. Well, that's good. I actually damaged the Oscar as well, so I kind of got 1.5. I did not do very well in that scenario, so I'm going to try it again. The Narwhal takes a bit of getting used to. I think what I want to do, though... Yeah, we got some kilos in this group. I don't need the kilos there. I think I'll dispense with the kilos. So, Mike, Sierras are coolers and alphas in this group. Let's go ahead and accept that. Group 2 are the, I guess the rank and file torpedo attack, fast attack boats, and then your collection of only 3 cruise missile submarines. Okay, let's hit it because I can surely do better than that. In fact, let's go back. Wrong way. Okay. Narwhal. Accept. Right. Now she comes configured with 8 harpoons, which I don't need, and only 2 mosses. So I think I'm going to give myself another 2 mosses. They may be useful. We might try something different this time. What we might do is we're going to get at least 1 moss loaded. I might just get that moss fired off. In fact, just to be safe, let's give myself 2. Let's try a different tactic. Let's try a diversion attack first off. We'll deploy a moss or 2. And then we'll bombard with torpedoes. I mean, what's the worst that happens, right? We've just seen the worst that happens, so let's hit it.
Sonar lost.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Okay. There'll be a lot of talking right now as the figures out. In fact, I'm actually going to pause the recording.
Sonar, new contact bearing 093. Designated Sierra 1.
There'll be a lot of talking, so I'll be back when we've discovered a bit more about what's going on around us. So I think this is a good example as any to see what happens. We've only detected 4 contacts so far. So I'm going to go ahead and fire a Moss. I'm going to send it east. I don't know how far away the bad guys are.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
We're going to find out. And I'm going to reload a Mark 48. Now I'll give this Moss a few seconds. I would really like to I suppose get out dodge. You know what? Is that a launch on me?
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I think what I'm going to do is just get my depth down.
Make depth 600 feet. Dive aye.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1. Last bearing 09. Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
I'm going to get my depth down to 600 feet and just put a little distance between myself and the path of that Moss. Now it should attract any torpedo launched in its direction. Great. But what I really want to do is see if I can draw out the bad guys.
Come left to 180. Helm aye.
Now in the ideal world, you really need a means of drawing the bad guys out to actually be a creditable threat. And that means a Mark 48, because there ain't much more credible threat to a Russian torpedo
Con, dive at 600 feet, dive high.
than that Mark 48. So I'm going to follow this up with a torpedo, assuming I want to put a little bit of distance. I reckon that's a little bit of distance, right? What distance is that? Supposed 500 yards, okay. That'll do. We'll drop to 5 knots.
5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I'm going to fire this thing
221,
east and then
aye, sir.
immediately have it follow the moss. Oh yeah, okay.
Sonar.
So that
Maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
that got an immediate counterfire.
Con sonar. Launch transient from Sierra 6.
I'm not unduly concerned at this point. I will get up to 15 knots.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering
I
aye.
really want to see what
Con sonar. Sierra 6 is classified as submerged
some
submarine.
of these targets are. That's a mic.
Con sonar. Sierra 7. Con
Yeah,
maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
They're generally running away from me because they've obviously heard about
sonar.
me.
Launch transient from Sierra 7.
I wish I was looking at that point, but it's like an Oscar.
Con sonar. Sierra 5 is classified as submerged submarine.
What we're going to do now is basically dogleg these as much as we can.
Shoot 2-3. Aye, sir.
I've only got 2 wires, so we can only dogleg 2,
Con sonar. Launch transient from Sierra 5.
which means the third one is going to be a legit attack vector. So we'll actually put it right here
Con, fire control, we've lost the
and
wire.
immediately reload. Okay, there we go.
Con sonar. Launch transient from Sierra 5.
So the hope is what's going to happen now is we are drawing them out. Now some of them are going to run away because
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 082.
not because of the contact, but because that's what they're going to do. I'm going to drop down to 5 knots so we can hear that a
Make
little bit
turns
better.
for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
So this Alpha is cruising for one in the kisser, so to speak. Is he doing? He's doing 20 knots. Okay. Right. That.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
The torpedo that we can detect. That's bad news. Everything else has gone for the moss, but he isn't. That one's not
Con
going
sonar
for it. So
regained contact on Sierra 4, bearing 096.
I think I want to get him.
Con sonar new contact bearing
Yeah, I don't.
084. Designated Sierra 8.
I don't really want to get him moss.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Identify 8. And the little bit of time we've got left before it disappears.
Con sonar lost
Yeah.
contact. Sierra 8. Last bearing 083. Contact.
That's a no.
Con
Okay.
maneuvering. Making turns for
Let's make
5
1
knots.
that's going to go live. 2 is not going to go live just yet, but soon enough. Okay, this thing's gone live here. Could fire a moss. Trying to decoy it.
Con sonar new contact bearing 088. Designated Sierra 9.
I don't know what fired that, so I'm going to have
Con
to
sonar lost
gonna run my speed up.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
I'm guessing it's about same depth as me, give or
Con
take.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 8, bearing 082. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 099. Contact faded. Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I just realized my towed array's out.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7, bearing 087. Con sonar new contact bearing 078. Designated Sierra 11.
We got the mic, that's good. What I'm doing now is just essentially firing torpedoes that I hope will
Con sonar, torpedo in the
Dang it.
water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 050.
That's kind of to be expected,
Shoot
unfortunately.
2-2. Aye, sir.
Con
So-
sonar lost contact. Come right to 230. Helm aye.
What happened here is that that torpedo
Con
did...
sonar lost contact. Sierra 8. Last bearing 082. Contact faded.
did detect me.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1. Last
And-
bearing 0. Con helm steady course. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 6. Last bearing 079. Contact is in the baffles. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 9. Last bearing 081. Contact.
Passing 600 feet. Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
Okay. The bad news is that the Portly Narwhal is
500 feet.
turning
Con,
very
sonar
slowly.
reports ice ahead.
And that torpedo
Passing 500 feet.
was diverted for a second.
Launch transient from
But-
Sierra 1.
Is now on me. So I need to try and get out of here. And I
Con so
try and lead it back to my moss.
Making turns for 25 knots.
Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra Bore bearing 0.
Con, knuckle formed.
Oof,
Con
you are
sonar
a
regained
portly
Passing
girl.
600 feet.
Dang it. Seriously? Again?
Con, sonar
Are you
reports
kidding
ice
me?
ahead.
Bollocks. Wow, if you're not a chunky girl, can't get out of the way of anything. And breathe. Well, I think I got one, and maybe two, but everybody out, chaps. Let's give this another go. I got one mic. Yeah, I'm not doing very well. Right, third time's the charm. I'm going to give this another go. Because maybe this time it'll be better. Yeah, like it's going to be better. Okay, now all again. Status report. We don't need any of those harpoons. So it didn't really work firing the moss. And maybe I should have been a bit more aggressive with the moss. The mosses. Is it plural of mosses, the moss eye? No, that's probably not it. Alright, there we go.
Con sonar new contact.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
So, what have we got
Con
here?
sonar new contact bearing 143. Designated Sierra 2.
Well, we're above the layer for what?
Con sonar new contact bearing 147. Designated Sierra 3.
Make depth 4-5 feet. Dive by.
Let's get the periscope depth, just for the sake of it. Because we can. Oh,
Con
Papa.
sonar Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine. Con sonar new contact bearing 126. Designated Sierra 6. Con sonar new contact bearing 147. Designated Sierra 7. Con sonar new contact bearing 131. Designated Sierra 8. Con sonar Sierra 4 is classified as submerged submarine. Con sonar new contact bearing 124. Designated Sierra 10. Con sonar new contact bearing.
Con, dive at 4-5 feet. Dive by.
Con sonar new contact bearing 155. Designated Sierra 12. Con sonar new contact bearing 136. Designated Sierra 13.
That's a lot of targets. A lot of targets detected in very short order. Which is not a short
Con
joke.
sonar Sierra 10 is classified as submerged submarine. Con sonar Sierra.
Downscope.
Okay, I'm going to get myself below the layer now.
Make depth 328 feet. Dive high.
What I suspect is that we detected a lot of boats because we're close, and that's not really, it's not the best place to be. Actually, tell you what we're going to do first. Yeah, right about the 200 feet, we're going to get a moss off. I'm going to try using, again, a slightly more aggressive way of using a moss. What is this? Can't tell what this is. Oh, it's an alpha.
Con sonar, Sierra 1, 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
And I think that... If it's a Vector 1, no. Vector 3, no, I think it's either of those. Can't really tell what some of these contacts are, so we'll have to come back to them. Oh, it looks like 13's the last one I can't identify, so okay. At least I'm below the layer now. Is this? You see, it's not a Victor 3. Oh, okay.
Con sonar, Sierra 1, 3 is classified as submerged submarine.
I think it's a Sierra, so let's get ourselves down to 600 feet, just because we like 600 feet. It's a nice...
Depth 600 feet. Dive high.
It's a nice round number. It's not that round, but it means I can run at flank for all the good that's done me the last 2 missions. But it means I can run at flank speed with a reasonable chance of not cavitating. Well, I won't cavitate.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
Alright, so let's go second moss on the way. We're actually going to follow these up with a number of Mark 48s. I know that as soon as I launch, they're going to detect. And that's going to be okay. They're definitely going to detect me because I'm side on. But we'll get the third moss out, and then at the same time, I kind of want to get these out beforehand, I think. Maybe. I don't know whether this approach is going to be fruitful in the slightest, but I really want to be able to get 3 Mark 48s out. And then hopefully their incoming torpedoes will get soaked up by a pair of mosses. Do I need to keep this one in reserve? Maybe, but I'm going to go and reload. Just get a Mark 48 there. We really want to be offensive. And I don't mean offensive as in like telling you mom jokes. As in, we're going to have weapons. We're going to have fish in the water that are going to be trying to kill these guys. Trying to sink their boats.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Okay, I think we're just about ready to make our first attack. So, number 1, you're going to be here.
Shoot con sonar, launch transient from
Same
Sierra
with number
5.
3. And then number
Con
4.
sonar. Con sonar, launch transient from
Lots and
Con
lots of
sonar,
bad guys.
Sierra 1, 3 is cavitating.
Okay.
Con. Dive.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 5.
So we're going to go
Right
some
two,
distance
2,
away.
6,
These,
8. Helm aye.
yeah, these are actually 7,000
Con
yards away.
sonar, Sierra 1, 3
Okay.
is cavitating.
We can take care of
Con
this.
maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
We're running at 15 knots because that's a speed that we know we're not going to lose a wire. Or at least I very rarely lose a
Con
wire.
helm, steady course.
Okay, so an air-launched torpedo is attacking the mosses. So
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7 bearing 142.
Con, torpedo room, tube.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-2 bearing 149.
So I'm not threatened, in theory, by this. Now in practice, let's see what this
Con
torpedo
sonar
does.
launch transient from Sierra 1.
He needs to not detect me and turn around.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 1.
Good lad. Okay,
Con
great.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-4. Last bearing 131. Contact faded.
So this torpedo here, torpedo number in tube 2, is going to attack this Sierra. But right now, what's going to happen is the Moss is going to distract the torpedo. So I want to try and suck all of the Russian torpedoes towards the Russians. And the danger is I might end up bringing my own towards... my own might get distracted by the Moss. And so with that in mind, we really want to get out of the way. Okay. That's interesting. I can put a bit of separation with my
Con,
torpedoes.
torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
And that might be useful. Yeah, see, look, there's this torpedo here. They're onto me. Let's notch it.
Come left to 228, helm aye.
And by notching it, what we mean there is we're basically going to run it perpendicular to the
Con
course.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 122, contact faded.
So torpedo 2 is tracking right next to this Moss. If I switch to this Moss, yeah, there's a lot of inbound torpedoes are plenty.
Steady course.
Switch back to my view. Okay, so we're trying to notch these. By notch, we run perpendicular. We want to create as much angle off as we can. Now, my use of angle off may not be technically correct, but what I mean here is we're going to be out.
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-2, bearing 1-4.
We're going to be out of its detection range by the time it gets close enough to me. Okay, so 2, you're almost ready to be...
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 6, bearing 121.
to be active. And you have a buddy torpedo next to you, so I could make torpedo in 2 active. I think I will. Now if it turns around, it's going to get connected to that Moss, or one of the Mosses following it, but that's okay.
Con sonar Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
I'm happy to leave this thing where it is. I'd love to...
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 1-3.
I'm making 2 active, and I'm going to cut the
Con
wire.
sonar launch transient from Sierra 1-3.
And let's go ahead and reload. I need to get my...
Con sonar new contact bearing 132, designated Sierra 15.
I need to get out of here. This
Con
torpedo
sonar
is
regained
getting...
contact on Sierra 3, bearing 131.
getting a little close to me. Right, let's run to flank speed momentarily.
Make turns for 25 knots. Maneuvering
My
eye.
towed array is deployed. Torpedo number 1 is going to go active very, very soon. I'm actually going to point it towards this Victor.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
I got something. Possibly that sinking Sierra. Let's try and turn it. See if there's anything else out
Con
there.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 124. Contact
So
faded.
it detected something else, which is nice. I
Con
don't-
sonar lost contact. Sierra 4, last bearing 136. Contact faded.
so I'm-
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 129. Contact faded.
Alright, we lost the wire on it.
Con
That's
sonar noisemaker bearing 123. Come left to 202. Helm aye. Con sonar Sierra 4 is cavitating. Con helm steady course. Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering eye.
okay. So, oh, that's 15.
Con
Let's see.
maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots. Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 1-1.
So what I think is going to happen is Sierra 7 and Sierra 8 are going to get a oh no. Okay,
Con
that's...
sonar regained contact.
That's bad news.
For 25
It's a
knots.
spread of 3
Maneuvering
torpedoes, and I'm kind of stuck in
Con
the middle of
sonar
them.
lost contact. Sierra 1. Come right to 301. Helm aye.
I'm gonna...
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 9. Last bearing 121. Contact faded.
Con, torpedo room,
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra.
Make depth 450 feet, dive high.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 1-1. 9.
Oh, Jimmy. That's not good. So this torpedo here, it's middle of the water, so it's got a good chance of detecting me.
Sonar reports ice ahead.
I am boxed in a place here. I've got very few places I can really go to
Come right
hide.
to 0, 1, 4. Helm aye.
So I'm going to try and hide in the gap between these torpedoes, and this
Con
is
sonar regained contact on Sierra 3, bearing 117.
this is a little risky.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 4.
Con, dive at 450 feet. Dive high.
This,
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7, bearing 123.
if this doesn't work, I don't have
Con
a
sonar regained contact on.
I don't have a-
Maneuvering, making turns for 25 knots. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-5, bearing 124. Con sonar regained contact. Come right to 100. Helm aye.
if this doesn't work, I
Con
don't.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-4, bearing 123.
This doesn't work. I
Con
don't.
sonar,
Oh my
launch
words!
transient
Will you
from Sierra
stop
1,
talking over
1.
me? I don't have a Moss loaded right now, and that's a
Con
passive.
sonar regained
Yes,
contact
okay.
on Sierra 9, bearing 122.
I think I'm going to get detected here.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 128.
This thing is 600 yards, 700 yards away, or will be
Con
that.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 6, bearing 115.
Hey, we survived.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Somehow.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing. Con maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
Shoot 2-2. Aye, sir. Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Con
Right.
sonar launch transient from Sierra 1-1. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-0, bearing 116. Come left to 044. Helm aye. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-2, bearing 129.
Well, we survived so far, and I'm gonna just try and keep the Russians as much as I can defensive, and it's difficult because there are so many of them. But lobbing torpedoes throwing torpedoes and making them active,
Con helm, steady course.
is going to be effective. Now, one strategy that does work is stacking torpedoes
Con
again.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-2, bearing 129.
Is stacking torpedoes against enemy submarines. Now the downside there is, of course, you run out of torpedoes. But right now, those two Mosses are causing a lot of grief because they're acting as a sponge for all of these torpedoes being fired. So there's, what, 6 of them circling them. And every once in a while, a torpedo there seems to get spat off those Mosses, and it goes for another contact, like a real submarine. So these two torpedoes, torpedo 1, torpedo 2, I'm using these to kind of try and catch whatever's loose, whatever's sort of mulling around those torpedoes, and there's lots of Russian torpedoes there.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 8.
So see, Sierra 8 is fired at the Mosses, this Alpha. Now, I'm going to make Torpedo 2
Con,
active.
fire
There
control.
you go.
Weapon
It's
acquired.
detected the Alpha immediately. Active does not have anionic coating. Very fast. Not as fast as the
Con
Mark
sonar
48.
lost contact. Sierra 9, last bearing 121. Contact breaking up.
So we got Sierra 9, and then Sierra 3 is also
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 151.
right for the attack as well. I'm going to dive out Torpedo 1 a little bit northeast. I'm going to try and ring around Sierra
Con
9.
sonar Sierra 1-5 is classified as submerged submarine.
Gonna try and ring round Sierra 9, Sierra
Con
13.
sonar, Sierra, Boar, is classified as submerged submarine.
So these are all oh wow, look at
Con
that.
sonar, lost contact. Sierra, 2, last bearing, 1, 2, Boar, contact breaking up.
I'm gonna get me a torpedo or two out here. There's just too much to not get something out.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
That's fine. I don't mind losing the wire there. Okay. So, torpedo
Con
2-2.
sonar, launch transient from Sierra, 3.
That Alpha is most definitely being tracked. I want to divert torpedo 1 towards this
Con
Charlie.
sonar, noisemaker, bearing, 1, Boar, 5.
Let's try that. Let's watch this Alpha. Oh, look at those destroyed submarines in the background. It's good to see. And somewhere is a torpedo tracking him, which I think is this one.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So, if I'm right, you're about to chop one. Pinging you, hello.
Noisemaker,
Dive,
bearing,
dive.
1, Boar, 5.
Got him. Yep, he's dead. Okay. That's interesting. So 2 torpedoes have been fired
Con
towards
sonar,
me
noisemaker, bearing, 1, 2, 5.
by this
Con,
Charlie
fire
3.
control, weapon
Right.
countermeasure homing.
So I'm going to go
torpedo room,
ahead,
tube 3 ready.
Con,
get my wire
Make
retracted.
turns for 2, 0
Dang it.
knots.
Lost,
Maneuver.
okay, lost the wire. Let's
Make
run.
turns for 2, 5 knots. Maneuver.
We're going to run to flank and...
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra, Boar, last bearing, 1, 5, 1. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra, 1, 2. Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra, 6.
So one of the mechanics of the game is that if you tell your Todari to...
Con sonar, Sierra, 1, Boar, is classified as submerged submarine.
to get retrieved, it doesn't get damaged. Hey, we took care of the Alpha at long last. Okay. So I have one torpedo heading to engage this big cluster of submarines to my south. There is a torpedo that's threatening me, which was fired by Sierra 3, and I'm running.
Torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
I'm running up flank to try and get ahead and get out the way. So if I center on myself, this torpedo here, I am really in this line of fire.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra, 1, 5. Con maneuvering, making turns for 2, 5 knots.
So I'm at least now at flank speed, but I'm not going very quickly. I think Sierra 13 is tangling with this torpedo here in the center of the screen.
Regained contact on Sierra, Boar, bearing. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra, 6.
But I can't detect the exact location of Sierra 3. So we just gotta let this pan out. Those mosses will be reaching the end of their useful life soon. Gonna go ahead and turn a little bit more east.
Con sonar,
There we
launch
go.
transient from Sierra, 1, 0.
So we've just got this torpedo alive, or rather we just detected it on sensors.
Come left to 0, 6, 3, helm I.
I think I'm
Con
gonna.
sonar, regained contact on Sierra, 1. Come left to 0, 4, 7, helm I.
I think I'm gonna be okay, but I need to keep moving. I'm
Con, helm, steady course.
tempted to head a little bit further north to minimize my profile. So let me show you what I mean. The torpedo is seeing this from me. I turn further north, it'll see this, and gradually a smaller profile, smaller return on its active sonar. But I'm making a lot of noise at the ass end, so to speak. And to qualify, I mean clearly my torpedo, not me. Oh, this Charlie 3 is a little too close.
Back emergency, maneuvering I.
Let's just do horrible things to the drive shaft right now. Get my speed right down.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1-0.
Oh, why do you want to just listen? Is there anything threatening this guy?
Con
No, there
sonar,
isn't.
launch transient from Sierra
Yeah.
3.
Shoot 2-2.
Now there is.
Make turns. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 6.
Okay, I'm in trouble now. But so is he, to be
Turns
fair.
for 2-5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Shoot 2-4. Aye, sir.
It's set
Con
65,
sonar, lost
so
contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 1-6-0. Contact faded.
pretty short range.
Con fire control, we've...
Come right to 068. Helm aye.
That
Con
moss.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 7. Last bearing 1-6-2. Contact faded.
That moss may be useful. I just need to get
Con,
out.
helm. Steady course.
I just need to get out of its sensor range. The set 665 torpedo.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7. Bearing 1-6-3.
880 yards. Yeah, it's not a massive. And I could even outdive it. No, I couldn't. Not got the depth here. So I don't need to get that far away out of it, but...
Con sonar Sierra 1-0 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay, so my Mark 48 has detected the Charlie 1, and it's already homing in on it. Although it's decided to go a different direction now. That's not good. Don't you dare turn back on me.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water.
Are
Torpedo
you
in the water.
freaking
Bearing
kidding me?
1-5-8.
Oh, maybe it's going for the moss, but that just means I'm next. Oh. That is just
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
freaking believable. And now it's gonna
Con maneuvering, making turns for 2-5 knots.
pick me up again. That is just
Con
really...
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-2. Last bearing 1-5-8. Contact breaking up.
Yeah, okay, here it comes. Wait.
Con, knuckle formed.
There's nothing I can do because
Con,
it's...
fire control, weapon countermeasure...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1-7-7.
Con, knuckle formed.
I really wish that wouldn't happen. And I guess it's unavoidable, but come on.
Con, knuckle formed.
Are you kidding me? I mean, why? Why did you turn around and aim for me and not... Yeah.
Con, torpedo room.
Con, knuckle formed.
Can't exactly blame the engineers that designed it, because of course I'm the chump crewing it, but now there's another torpedo
Con, knuckle formed.
coming towards me, so I'm in
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
doo-doos.
Con, knuckle formed.
And I don't want to say the Narwhal is a bit chonky, but she's a bit chonky. Now maybe I can lead the Mark 48 back to the moss, but there's no tiger fish. Okay, this is actually working out. Because it's going for the moss. Okay, great. So, it's real close to me. There it goes. See ya! See ya! Won't want to be ya. Okay.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 1-6-6. Contact breaking up.
I think I can do. I can get away from it. Thank goodness.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3. Last bearing 1-5-7. Contact is in the baffles. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7.
Make depth 656 feet, dive high.
Okay. Change my depth. I can't detect my torpedo, but it is at least going for the moss. So I'm going to head away out of its detection range and hopefully shake the dang thing off, and then reposition somewhere probably more to the west. So
Con sonar launch transient from
I so hope that that's going for the Moss. Got one Moss left, I think. One in the tube, yeah. And a bunch of Mark 48s. So I need to get back on and lob things. Now, this is the enemy torpedo, air launch torpedo. So let's go ahead and watch this.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1.
Con, dive at 656 feet. Dive by.
And that's the Moss. So, good news. Let's flick back to me. No, actually, no. Let's go ahead and turn a little bit further west.
Come left to 270. Helm I.
Good
Con
drop.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 7 bearing 171.
Gonna drop
Con
my
sonar regained contact on. Make turns for 20 knots.
Just gonna do it. I keep saying I'm gonna drop my speed, but
Maneuvering, making turns for 20 knots.
they keep talking over me, so
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 170. Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering I. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 5, bearing 162. Con sonar regained contact.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 4, bearing 151. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 190. Con sonar regained contact on Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 4. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 6, bearing 142.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 7.
okay. So a couple of my own torpedoes launched. There's this torpedo just south of Sierra 4, just off to the sort of south east of the center of the display. That's a threat, and it could do with clearing my path, which is what torpedo 1 and 2 are going to do, or at least support me doing that. So the hope here is that torpedo 1 at least is just, if that Papa, and let me see, is it moving away from me? Let's have a look. Yeah, he's probably some distance away, but the Akula is not. So the Akula is definitely a threat. So I really want these two torpedoes to act as a credible threat. There's another bad guy down here. I guess move this torpedo to here. Make it go live there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and we'll let this play out for a little bit. I'll be back. Well,
Maneuvering, making turns for 10 knots.
torpedo 2 is circling right now, because that little dot to its east, I'm pretty much sure, is where there's a contact. It appeared for just a little bit. I'm pretty sure that there's something there. I just don't detect it right now. So otherwise, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of activity here. I'm very surprised at the Russians are fighting very, very effectively still, and yeah, I'm surprised. I'm glad in a way.
Make turns for 15 knots.
I guess
Maneuvering
maybe
I.
there really is nothing there, but that dot appeared, and I'm sure there was a target there.
Maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
So I'm getting out of the way. This my Moss here that's approaching.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-5. Last bearing 159. Contact faded.
It's approaching.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1 5, bearing 158.
I wonder if Sierra 15 is north of me, north of Torpedo 2 now. I guess I'm just going to rotate it around just in case, because if it is, sneaky Russians. You're getting real close.
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 15, last bearing 158. Contact faded.
Yeah, I'm not detecting anything. Sierra 10 and Sierra 6 are most definitely targets right now.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 15, bearing 157.
Torpedo 1 is going to have another go from the side here, I think. Now, Sierra 14 is a cooler. I'd have loved to have taken him out, but I don't think I'm going to. So what I'm going to try and do is manage Torpedo 1 to pick up whichever one of Sierra 10 or Sierra 6 that this one doesn't. There's also a cooler here as well. There's a lot of targets.
Fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, so Torpedo 2 is engaged or is attacking something. Let me see if I can take out this Akula. That would be really nice if I can manage that.
Come left to 199, helm aye.
Yeah, very nice if we can manage it. Now, Sierra 10, stop moving. Let's just take a quick look. Oops. Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, let's just not worry about that right now.
Con, helm, steady course.
This is Sierra 11 that's doing the same. There's a lot of sunken boats out here. He's about to do the same thing. He's about to collide as well. I got close. And I think Sierra 2 is targeting him or something else. Let's see. Let's ping with Sierra 2. I don't know what he's targeting. See if we can get this Sierra here. Let's go ahead and target again this one there. There's a lot going on underwater here, and a lot of targets. I've got to make sure that my torpedoes do not...
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 182.
Okay, so we took care of Sierra 10. Let's switch back to the map. I want my Torpedo 1 to go for Sierra 11 here, I think.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 159. Contact faded.
Shoot 2.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7, bearing 159.
Con, fire control.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 144.
Right. So this torpedo is now engaging Sierra 11, which is
Con
here.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 182.
Except it
Contact faded.
flicked me around, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead
Con
and...
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 182.
Get off the bottom. There we go. Come on. Go for Sierra 11. There we go. Good lad. Right, let's switch the torpedo view if we can. Yep. I think I've got you now.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 145.
Con, fire control, weapon
Manually
acquired.
steer you in. There we go. I don't think you have a chance to get out of here, and you've disappeared, but I don't think it matters. Wait. Come on. What the heck?
Torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Oh, why? That's frustrating. Okay. Guess we detected something. Right, what though? I don't know. Got the active sonar pinging, see if we can pick it up. That'll often help you detect something, but right now it's not detecting anything. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, something in the distance, but what? It's my moss. Ah. Okay, well let's turn around and see if we can detect something else. Detected something.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 140.
I guess it's Sierra 11, maybe. I don't know. No, you need to not go for the submerged submarine. You need to go for this thing to your port side. There, it's right there. Come on, it's right there. Stop heading for the bottom and hit this very much alive target. It's right there. Get him. No. Oh my gosh, torpedo. For the 37th time, go for the cavitating boat that is right in front of you. Thank you. Thank goodness for wires. I would lose so many Mark 48s to operational targets. Okay, so this thing's probably going to drop a noisemaker. There it goes. So I'm going to go and manually divert the torpedo. I've kind of got one eye on the map, the bottom left, and then also just trying to watch it. I might be able to force it to dive into the bottom of the ocean again. I really need it to detect this submarine, and right now it's doing a very good job of ignoring it completely. Thank you. Right, get it. No, we're going. Okay, level off. Kill.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 146.
So we'll steer it again, right. So active sonar's detected it right now, and I think I've got it at long last. Okay, thank you. But it's... is it still going? I don't know. Yeah, I think it might be. Big hole in the side.
Sonar, launch transient from Sierra 7.
Right, well he's sinking, it looks like. So let's worry about...
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 7.
Alright, well, Torpedo 3 is going to try and kill this Alpha. And the Victor 2 is on the move as well. You know, I could... no, let's go ahead and just take care of the Alpha.
Control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-5. Last bearing 136. Contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-5. Bearing 135.
I don't need to get too creative with my solutions of killing the enemy boats. I just have to get a torpedo close enough. I've got plenty of torpedoes left as well. Well, yeah, I've got 11. So, and the Akula, Sierra 11...
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 196. Contact faded.
Sierra.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 176.
So this Alpha, I can use my active sonar very effectively. So let's go ahead and do that, like so. And it will help it see through some of the noisemakers. Torpedo I've just launched from number 2. I am targeting either towards Sierra 15, the Victor 2, or Sierra 11, this damaged Akula. Now I don't have any harpoons, so if the Akula does make it to the surface, which he just did...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 171.
Sadly, we won't be able to sink it with a surface weapon. Be nice if we could, but that's not going to happen. So either Sierra 11 or Sierra 15 is going to get one with this Mark 48. Now this Alpha, meanwhile, is likely going crazy. Yeah, I think it is. He's at the surface or close to the surface. Let's watch this. Yeah,
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 164.
He's on the way to the surface, but my torpedo, my Mark 48, has got active sonar in use, and that's going to be a big help for the torpedo. It doesn't work against many Russian boats, just some of the older ones. But this Alpha's very quick, 41 knots, so he's very agile as well. I think I'm going to push the torpedo down. Let's see if we can kill it. Nope. Okay. weird angle to try and be attacking him from, but let's go ahead and turn it around, like so.
Fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Do it. No, 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 come on. It's hard to steer this bloody thing from a weird perspective. Okay, aim for the target. Come on, it's right there. It's right there. Seriously, what are you going the wrong way for? Come on.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 1.
Thank
6,
you.
3.
That was much harder than it should have been. Now, torpedoes on the way, incoming. So let's go ahead and turn away.
Come right to 2, 3, 5. Helm aye.
I'm actually going to get another torpedo out, I think, because there are 2 targets here.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
And I'm under threat from at least 1 torpedo. So it's not good, but this one here. Torpedo 2 is going to go for the Akula.
Con, helm, steady course.
I'm under threat from this one. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get out of the way. I guess we'll run it to Gonna run my speed to 20 knots. That
2, 0 knots.
lost the wire. That's a shame. Okay. Kind of to be expected, unfortunately, but and that's the other one.
Making turns for 2,
It's a shame.
0 knots.
I'm tempted to moss this one off, but
Con
no.
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1, 5. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1, 5. Make turns for 2, 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
So I hope Sierra 11 and Sierra 15 are gonna get engaged.
Motor array has been damaged.
Ah,
Make turns for 2, 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
bother.
Damage control parties.
Maybe I can fix this, but I suspect I've just killed my towed array, which is frustrating because it's utterly avoidable. That's one
Con,
big.
torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
That's one big advantage of stock. Couple orders over the dot mod is it's easy to forget about your towed array in dot mod. I may as well get back up to 25 knots because it's already
Make
buggered.
turns for 2, 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Meh. That's frustrating. I don't know if this has really compromised the battle so much, the game, because I've done fairly well, but there are still at least 2 targets that I would like to engage, and that's Sierra 15 and Sierra 11. The rest of them, there are maybe.
Sonar, launch transient from.
So this Akula is still going for me. I'm going to get a Moss out, I think. I don't think he's... No. He's probably just realized.
1, 5 knots. Maneuvering aye. Con
But,
maneuvering. Making turns for 1, 5 knots. Make
I'm the
turns
last
for
target that
2,
is viable.
5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
If that's the case, there's an airborne torpedo heading my way. Oh.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Alright, I'm going to pause the recording until something interesting happens, which is going to happen very soon, so I'll be right back. Well, it looks like...
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7 bearing 1, 2, 7.
Yeah, it looks like Sierra 11, the Akula.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7 last bearing 1, 2, 6. Contact faded.
And Sierra 15, the Victor 2 are under attack from torpedoes. Both my Mark 48s maybe have found their way to where I really
Con
wanted them to
sonar
be.
regained contact on Sierra 7 bearing 1, 2, 6.
So I'm going to go ahead and drop my speed down to
ultra quiet.
ultra quiet again. I think my towed array is buggered.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 1, 1, 6. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra Con sonar launch transient from.
Don't like the fact that there's so many torpedoes that are being launched from
Con
this
sonar regained
area. So
contact on Sierra 1 bearing 187. Con sonar launch transient from.
I'm going to see if we can disrupt whatever's in this location here.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 124.
Wow, there's a lot going on. This Victor 2 is, I wouldn't say he's struggling, but he's under a sustained attack. We got Sierra 11, by the way, the cooler, which is nice. I wonder if we can watch the look at the wreck. Yep. So we're going with the second torpedo, I guess. And look at that
Con
background.
sonar launch transient from.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, we only see 2, but I know that there's a lot more out there. Switch back to my view, and switch back to the map. So, whatever this torpedo was down here, and I think it's the Akula. Is it coming towards me? Yeah, I think he is. Sierra 1 is still going away. He's firing torpedoes, or air-launched torpedoes in my general direction, almost like he's forming a barrier. Now, I think they think the moss is where I am, which is great, because I'm I don't know, 4,000 yards to the west. Yeah, the Akula's decided he's going to make like a tree and get out of here. Sensible chap, but
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 123.
I'm onto you, Sonny Jim. 30 knots. What's his top speed? 35? 33, okay. This is a long tail chase for this Mark 48, but what's the Mark 48's cruising speed? Is it 45 knots? Tell me. 40 knots, so it's a very slow catch.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7 last bearing 121. Contact breaking up.
So I've got 29 minutes 51 seconds of fuel, so I'm gonna run this thing out now. Sierra 15 may have avoided my Mark 48, and if that's the case, I've got another one for you, Sunshine. But let's let this thing pan out for a little bit, because I don't think he's quite where he is. I think he's further to the southeast. Let's accelerate time. Yeah, it's a chance that all the torpedoes that have been sucked up by this moss are going to get spat out in the direction of this Victor 2. Yeah, this Akula's going for it. Don't blame him, really. Mark 48 is a fearsome weapon. I can't really catch the corner on him either. Wow. This Sierra 15 has avoided so much. Let's send one his way. I could do with just taking him out.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
There we go. Right. He may have detected that launch. Let's see. Possibly. Possibly not, but it looks like he's just picked up speed. So we'll turn this torpedo towards him, and let's see what happens. Yeah, he's making a run for it. Okay. Why do they always run? Oh, no, he's not. Oh, we can now detect the Papa. Very interesting. At 45 knots, though, no chance of catching him. So, 21 minutes of fuel left. I'd love to have a go at catching the Papa, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So, yeah, this Victor 2, he's got a lucky torpedo coming his way. He's going through the fields of death right now. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we can't really see that well because of his depth, but there's lots of sunken torpedoes there. Kind of feel bad. No, I don't feel bad for them at all. They would happily add me to that collection. Alright, so this Victor 2 has detected the torpedo and is making like a tree. His speed's 32 knots, so I'm going to go ahead and make this thing active. Oh,
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
he's turned around again.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
See, can we get much of a visual? No, he's so shallow. Now he's gonna dive. Okay.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0.
See where he is.
6.
Let's see if we can punch through his decoy with active sonar. I don't think we can, so let's drop my depth.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Oh, there you are. Hello, chumps. He's diving for the deck, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. If a noisemaker now might really ruin this torpedo's chance of getting him. I think he's left it too
Con
late.
sonar, noisemaker bearing
Dive,
0,
dive, dive,
7,
and
4.
got him. Alright, and watch him at impact. Fitting end. Okay, so this torpedo is not doing the right thing. Come on. Why are you turning around? No. You do not turn around. You have another go at the target. Come on, it's not rocket science. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and fire on this Papa one because
Shoot 2-3. Aye, sir.
he's not going very, very quickly, and if I can catch him with his, I guess with his pants by down, that'll work great for me. Okay, let's accelerate time. I feel that we're almost at the very end. There's not much length. It's just these two submarines left. So let's accelerate
Con,
time.
torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
And he is not. It's a cooler's kind of. There he is. Okay, so 6 minutes left on that torpedo.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 157.
And now I see where you are. See if we can burn through with active sonar. Not really. Doesn't always work. That flashing blue-red typically means, or seems to mean, he's changing depth, and it looks like he's way too deep. How did my torpedo get down there? That's annoying. That's a glitch. Stupid game. Great.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-4. Last bearing 158. Contact faded.
Well, I'm going to wait and see if we pick up the Akula again, but meanwhile, the Papa one is, he's exposed his tail to me, and I have a torpedo chasing
Con,
him.
torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
So, we may get to kill this guy.
Come right to 208. Helm aye. Con helm. Steady course.
I got a good feeling about this. Still a bit of a distance out, but Papa's not detected it yet. Oh, you beauty. Still not detected it yet. And, okay, now he's detected it, but the torpedo is going to go active any second, and there's the target. Target's coming down to meet the torpedo. Let's make it
Con
active.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 222.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, we've acquired him. That's good. And he's jumping, he's going down to the deck, down to the bottom. So, we caught you on the hop, sunshine. No, I don't see him with my sensors, but the torpedo is still following him. Could try and use active sonar, but I don't think that's really going to work.
Noisemaker bearing 224.
That didn't either. The torpedo's still tracking. I think you're dead, pal. Still tracking him. He's coming up very aggressively. We may have to... Oh, any second now?
Con sonar
Yay.
lost contact. Sierra 1. Last bearing 224. Contact breaking up.
And we don't see the wreckage, but we do see the oil slick. Okay, let's switch back to my boat. Right. Just the Akula left.
Helm
And
left 2167. Helm aye.
I think I'm going to call it for today's battle. I'm going to leave this Akula to slink back home. I think I want the enemy to know it was a Narwhal that defeated them, the only Narwhal left. And I think that's a pretty successful mission. And we got 14 out of 15, and we probably could have got the last one. I'm not going to pursue it, but I have 7 torpedoes left. I've got enough torpedoes to take care of this guy. So I think that tells me that the Mark 48 is a better balanced weapon, with my experience, than the Spearfish. But I think with practice, I'll be able to knock him down with the Spearfish. Well, on that happy bombshell, I'm going to go ahead and close here for now. So hopefully you got something from this. You watched 2 fails and 1 fairly epic victory.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Well, on that note, thanks ever so much. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.